Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to look at astronomy in Indian knowledge system. So we will begin by examining what makes Indian astronomy unique, followed by its historical development across different periods. We will explore the celestial coordinate system used by Indian astronomers and the intricate elements of the Indian calendar. Then we will delve into important texts like the Aryabhatiya and the Siddhantic tradition, discuss the Indian almanac system called Panchang, examine astronomical instruments, and finally look at the remarkable Jantar Mantar observations built by Maharaja Jai Singh II. What makes Indian astronomy distinctive? Unlike many Western traditions that eventually separated astronomy from cultural practices, Indian astronomy remained deeply intertwined with rituals, festivals, agricultural cycles, and astrological practices, collectively known as Jyotisha. There were a strong emphasis on identifying periodicity and cyclical patterns in celestial phenomena, which aligned with the Indian philosophical concept of cosmic cycles. The tradition brilliantly combined empirical observations with sophisticated mathematical modeling, including the early use of sine functions, which they call Jaya, long before these appeared in other mathematical traditions. Philosophically, Indian astronomy was rooted in the concept of cosmic order and recognized the profound interconnectedness between the microcosm and macrocosm, between human life and celestial movements. Indian astronomy has a rich developmental history spanning thousands of years. It begins in the Vedic period with the earliest astronomical ideas found in the Rig Veda, including references to the nakshatras or lunar constellations. By around 1200 BCE, we see the emergence of Vedanga Jyotisha, a specialized text focusing on calendrical science that introduced concepts like intercalary months to align lunar and solar cycles. The most mathematically sophisticated period was the Siddhantic period from approximately the 5th to 12th century CE, which produced remarkable texts like the Aryabhatiya and Surya Siddhanta. Later, during the Mughal and Rajput periods, we see the construction of large-scale observatories, with Jantar Mantar being one of the most famous examples. It's worth noting that Indian astronomy had significant influence beyond the subcontinent, particularly on the Arab-Persian world, through translations of Sanskrit astronomical works. Indian astronomers developed a sophisticated celestial coordinate system. While it was based on the geocentric model with Earth as the center, they incorporated complex epicycles to account for planetary motion. They utilized both elliptic and equatorial coordinate systems and performed detailed calculations of celestial longitude, called Rashi, and latitude, called Bhaga. One of the most distinctive features was the division of the sky into 27 or 28 nakshatras or lunar mansions, each spanning approximately 13.3 degrees of the ecliptic. To explain eclipses, phenomena that were precisely predicted, they developed the concepts of Rahu and Ketu, which represented the points of intersection of the lunar orbit with the elliptic plane. What's truly remarkable is the accuracy they achieved in calculating solar, lunar, and planetary motions, often with errors of less than 1 degree despite working without telescopes. The Indian calendar system represents an elegant solution to a complex astronomical problem. It's a lunisolar system that balances the solar year of approximately 365.24 days with the lunar months of about 29-25 days. The calendar consists of 12 lunar months, but since 12 lunar months fall short of a solar year, an additional month called Adhika Masa or intercalary month is occasionally added to maintain alignment with seasons. Each month is named after the nakshatra in which the full moon occurs. Examples include Chaitra and Vaisakh. The basic units of this calendar include the Tithi or lunar day, the Paksha or fortnight, and the Rashi or zodiac sign. This calendar isn't merely a timekeeping device, it governs religious festivals, agricultural activities, and daily rituals throughout the Indian subcontinent, demonstrating how astronomy was integrated into everyday life. Aryabhatta, who wrote his seminal work Aryabhatta in 499 CE, was truly ahead of his time. He was among the first astronomers globally to propose that Earth rotates on its axis, and he provided scientific explanations for eclipses without resorting to mythological narratives. His text, the Aryabhatta, is divided into four sections: Geetika, which sets out the basics; Ganitapada, focusing on mathematics; Kalakriyapada, dealing with time measurements; and Golapada, concerning spherical astronomy. Aryabhatta introduced trigonometric functions, compiled tables of sign values, and developed equations for planetary motion. The broader Siddhantic tradition, exemplified by texts like the Surya Siddhanta, provided comprehensive rules for celestial calculations. These works used epicycles and difference for modeling planetary motion, conceptual precursors to the later Keplerian understanding of orbits. The mathematical sophistication in these texts reveals a deep understanding of celestial mechanics. The Panchang is a remarkable living tradition of Indian astronomy that continues to be used widely today. The term literally means 5 limbs, referring to its 5 essential components: Tithi or lunar day, Vara or weekday, Nakshatra or lunar mansion, Yoga, which is a specific time period based on the combined positions of the sun and the moon, and Karna, which is half of the Tithi. These almanacs are published annually and serve as guides for determining auspicious timings, called Muhurat, for planning rituals and for celebrating festivals. Creating a Panchang requires complex calculations involving lunar phases and solar positions. Traditional astronomers called Panchangkaras perform these calculations using methods passed down through generations. While regional variations exist, particularly between the Drik and Vakya systems of calculation, the underlying principles remain uniform across India. The Panchang's continued relevance in contemporary Hindu society demonstrate how ancient astronomical knowledge remains embedded in cultural practices. Indian astronomers developed and used a variety of igneous instruments. The gnomon, known as Sanku, was perhaps the simplest yet most fundamental. It measured the sun's altitude by tracking shadow length. The Chakrayantra was used to measure celestial latitude and time. Traditional astronomers also employed sundials, armillary spheres representing celestial coordinates, and quadrant devices for angular measurements. Portable instruments, collectively called yantras, were commonly used by temple astronomers, who often served as timekeepers for their communities. What's particularly noteworthy about these instruments is how they combine practical engineering principles with mathematical precision. They were designed not just for accuracy but also for usability in practical context, showing the pragmatic orientation of Indian astronomy. The Jantar Mantar observatories represent the pinnacle of Indian astronomical instrumentation. Built by Maharaja Jai Singh II in the 18th century across 5 locations, Delhi, Jaipur, Ujjain, Varanasi, and Mathura, they constitute the largest collection of fixed astronomical instruments in the world. Jai Singh's motivation was to improve upon existing Islamic and European astronomical tables, which he found contained inaccuracies. These observatories feature remarkable instruments like the Samrat Yantra, a giant sundial capable of measuring time with precision of about 2 seconds. The Ram Yantra for measuring celestial coordinates, and the Jai Prakash Yantra, which mapped the celestial hemisphere on a concave surface. The Jaipur Observatory, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is particularly well preserved and demonstrates a brilliant fusion of architecture, astronomy, and engineering innovation. These observatories stand as testimony to the continued vitality of the Indian astronomical tradition well into the modern period. To conclude, Indian astronomy represents a rich fusion of scientific inquiry, philosophical thought, and ritual practice. It contributes to global astronomical knowledge, includes sophisticated calendar design, advanced understanding of celestial mechanics, early development of trigonometry, and innovative astronomical instrumentations. As engineers, appreciating this tradition help us understand how scientific knowledge develops within specific cultural contexts and how theoretical understanding and practical application can reinforce each other. And that's all for this video. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to help us grow. And I will see you in the next one. Till then, happy learning.